was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that I couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. If you hadn't been so patient, you'd be easy to ignore. You put up with all my till you didn't anymore. And now I stand here calling at your door. Oh, now I stand here calling at your door. Yeah, I'm yours, anywhere you want. Yeah, I'm yours.
My little sidekick was copycatting me. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Max Life. Saw me finish up the kale. So glad to have that done. Sometimes when you're grinding that kale, the powder and the crumbles make a really big mess. So I'm so glad to have that done. Today we are headed out to put eyes on everything to see what needs to be done. I know there are a couple of things that I know need to be done. I have some stinging nettle and some wormwood that I started from seeds. The biggest contemplating there has been the stinging nettle, because obviously you hear in the name is it does sting. And I have one right here that likes to bring me leaves and say, what is it? She wants to know if it's peppermint, because she likes the smell of peppermint. And obviously I wouldn't want her to get into the stinging nettle. So I've really been contemplating. I do have one area of fence line that I really could put some barrier things there. Blackberries is probably one of those, and stinging nettle is the other. That would be a great place. I do have a great place to put it. My only downside is when the guys are cutting and weed eating, I wouldn't want them to take those things out. So just trying to see what that looks like. Things are growing in the backyard kitchen like crazy. So today is just going to kind of be walking around, looking around, seeing what needs to be done. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you guys how some of the things that I have planted just since last spring have really started taking off and taking over my outdoor living space, my kitchen area, which is doing everything that I wanted it to do, because I'm going to show you two different areas. This is what I don't have planted right here.
My mama knows this pepper. It's very easy.
That is lemon balm.
Lemon balm. Ew.
We put it in lemonade. So I told you she likes to pick my leaves, and she does. She picks everything.
It's peppermint now.
That one is catnip. It smells like mint too.
Me, mommy.
Yeah, it is mint. Okay, so the grass, like I'm going to show y'all right here, like this is grass. So I've been trying to come in and incorporate things like bee balm, which will grow and spread and take over, which is, again, exactly what I'm wanting. I'm wanting to put things back here that are going to kind of spread. So I'm not fighting the grass.
What is it, mommy?
That smells like spearmint.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah. This is thyme here, which is another one that grows and spreads. You can see it's taken over. I actually just started that with a handful of thyme that someone shared with me. Feverfew was another one that will grow and spread. Tarragon, this is tarragon right here, that will again grow and spread. So this is a lemongrass, and it doesn't really grow and spread too much. I also use it in some of my bug sprays as well, and my flower arrangements that I put around the house. Lemongrass is one of those. I will stick in those arrangements for the pretty tallness. I also have a lot of yarrow back here. These two, this is a red yarrow and a white common yarrow. Guys, yes, these things spread. Adding in some areas back here by my blueberry bushes where if you look far enough over, yes, that is grass trying to take over. So again, I'm trying to do more a little bit back here of what I'm doing up there. Learning the things that grow and spread and take over where I'm not battling grass. Yes, that is bee balm.
Melt. It's bee balm.
Yeah, it's bee balm. I have some comfrey also planted back here, a self-heal that planted itself. I also have some pineapple sage. a marshmallow, more comfrey. I have some ginger and some turmeric. So y'all kind of see what's going on in my backyard kitchen. And peppermint.
Peppermint?
And that's the way we want to keep it. We want things that are going to grow and give and spread, that continues to give. So far everything back here is looking good. I do have some grass right up in here I'm going to have to battle. I have been using salt water and vinegar on that, but I'm going to be 100% and completely honest with you. I just sprayed this a couple of weeks ago and it did absolutely no good whatsoever. I did a concentration of salt and vinegar with a little bit of water so that it would be very concentrated, and I still have grass everywhere, so that is a bummer. Sailor, are you going to pick all those blueberries? Hold on, I'll help you.
The top one.
Y'all watch my plants underneath your feet though, okay? This one's still kind of purple though.
It's fine.
Here, Levy, here's you one.
Oh, there's another one over there.
So as you can see, pretty well as the fruit comes in, the kids are eating it very quickly. But guys, I do need to get started. I do need to get some of this wormwood and stinging nettle and a couple of the blackberries down in the ground, and I'm thinking I'm going to go to a part of our fence line that is, a section of it is wood, and I'm going to be putting these little boogers under that fence line for anybody that decides they want to help themselves over our fence. They're going to get into a lot of thorns, and stinging nettle is not fun. If you have ever touched stinging nettle, I accidentally grazed my hand across it reaching over it one day in the greenhouse, and the top of it caught the side of my finger, and I thought there was a fire ant on my finger. That's what it feels like, and that was just a graze, and it was because those hairs from that stinging nettle will get into your skin, and it does literally sting. So I thought it was a fire ant on my hand. It was not. It was the stinging nettle. But we are going to get that wrapped up. I plan on coming back up in here where some of that grass is growing. I'm going to try to weed all of that, which I'm not weeding all summer. We have a little bit of bark left over, so I'm going to get that put in those beds as well. A mulch to help keep that under control. I also know that Colby is out in the gardens. He is right across over there in the gardens. Those are the ones that we till. We have 2 gardens that we till pretty heavy. So he is tilling those right now to help keep the grass under control. I wanted to show y'all an update of this area that looks totally different. Y'all have seen this was my strawberry patches that I weeded for years. And I told y'all last summer I was absolutely sick of weeding this area because I felt like that's all I was doing all summer. So we transplanted all those strawberry plants into raised beds where I'm not crawling around on the ground pulling up grass. You can see that it's connected to a side of grass where when weed eaters come through, most of that grass seed was being put into my strawberries, and it was a constant fight. So we removed those. We quickly, fall and winter, right after February, we dug up the strawberries. We turned around and put potatoes in here. I just dug up those potatoes, y'all. It was a really long day of a whole lot of digging. Colby wasn't able to help me that day because he was at work. And I had a lot of potatoes there in our cool room. Guys, I've got to show y'all that. And then we turned around and tarped this area. So what we're doing right now is smothering the grass. It's not going to be able to grow. We are not going to untarp this thing until we are ready to plant our fall and winter crop. The grass is obviously not as actively growing. This is not a place that we till, okay? The worms here are huge. They're beautiful. They're putting so much nutrients in our soil. This is not a place we till. So this will stay completely covered until fall. When we're ready to do a fall crop, we are going to be doing different things like broccoli, lettuce, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. You know, all of those fall things will be back here. More blueberries.
But we've been eating some of them.
Y'all aren't even gonna get them washed? Are those good, Libby?
They were at the top of the tree.
Yep. Well, we're gonna have a whole lot coming in. What are we gonna do? We have to pick all those. A lot of hands make a light work. We got to get your sisters out here, huh?
I know. It's gonna be horrible.
But they're good, huh? Yep.
Ow! No, get more pepper me.
Yeah. Quit picking all my leaves, girl.
Now,
Smells good.
what is this?
It's lemon balm, girl. So just showed y'all a clip of my stinging nettle, some American plum trees I'm gonna plant, and the blackberries. But I wanna show y'all a clip of how vicious this blackberry plant really is. So I had a master gardener call me and say, I have this growing in the middle of my flower bed. I really don't wanna chunk it. Would you come get it? So I'm just gonna show y'all our blackberry bush that I transplanted here last year. And you can see how big it already is. And the thorns are very nice. This is what I took cuttings from this. Some of them I have started back here on this fence line. This is barbed wire fence though, but I have started back here. I'll show you one that has grown off beautifully that I put on this fence line. I have started making more barriers. These are about to go on another section. So just FYI for some of you guys, if you're trying to consider a way without spending so much money on fencing, thorns are a wonderful way to build barriers. Now this plant was given to me for free. I took cuttings from this plant and made all the ones that I have planted on this back fence line. And I will literally do the same thing next year, continue to take cuttings, root those, and make more plants from plants. Okay, y'all, I got all of the stinging nettle planted, blackberries planted. The only thing I have not got planted yet is the plums. We're about to pause and take a break for lunch, but before we do, I'm going to go water those plants that I just planted. And y'all, again, I just keep telling you, this is a wonderful way to deal with people trespassing on your property. With literally, once you get it down in the ground, there's literally no maintenance to it, very little cost. A packet of seeds are just a couple of dollars. You really can't beat that. And I'm just going to tell y'all this too. While I was planting, I don't know if some of the spikes from the plants got in my glove and my glove brushed up against my leg, or if I somehow was scooting over and it got against my leg. I thought I had fire ants again on my legs and in a couple of spots. I'll show you one spot in just a minute. And it felt like stings from, I mean, you know, it's called stinging nettle. To me, it kind of feels like ant stings. I guess it could be comparable to like bee stings and stuff too. But if you get into this stuff, it is going to cause trouble, which means it is a wonderful alternative to deal with, like I said, dealing with trespassers coming on your property. Y'all plant this stuff, they are going to regret getting into this.
Mama, be careful. There's a spot.
Are y'all having fun?
Yeah. 'Cause I don't want to get hurt. 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 '
Harley, why are you hiding?
He doesn't like being in front of the camera. Mama. Mama.
You having fun, Eliza?
Yeah. Harley's up here.
Okay, y'all, I have one last plum tree to plant. I have just finished putting this one in the ground. And it doesn't look too hot right now because it's been in the ground. Well, it's actually been riding around in the back of the Ranger for a couple hours now. Well, I have been transplanting all of the other things, but I just watered it really heavy. Then I put it in the ground and watered the ground really, really good. So one more to go. Y'all can look down and see the fence line. I've stopped right here, and then I picked up on the other side and come 10 plants this way. Everything in between will be blackberry bushes, so I'm going to be taking more cuttings from my bush. Gonna see if I can get them to root. Now, obviously, you know this is not a quick fix. It is a cheap and effective way looking towards the future. So these plants will have at least a year or two of growing and maturing before they grow up and start growing out. So obviously, this is not gonna be like a fix of anything right now. We're not having problems yet, but you know, the sad reality is people are getting bolder in their sin and doing things like trespassing on people's property to come to the pond, which is the #1 reason we had this fence built. We had the gate is because we had people actually driving across over to our pond. We had a couple of people tell us, oh, well, I have permission from the owners to be out here fishing. And we're like, no, you don't, because we're the owners. And then just all kinds of stuff. We had heard all kinds of things. So the fence went up. But, you know, people are getting bolder. And jumping the fence would have been like probably the next option. Driving up, jumping the fence, going down to the pond. So we might not be able to catch a lot of that, you know, within the next year or two. But eventually, when these, y'all saw my blackberry bush in the back. That has grown like that in 1 year. So, you know, we're looking for future. In the next year or two, these guys are going to be up. They're going to be a little bit bigger. I've got a blackberry bush down on that end. All of this middle will be blackberry, and I've got a blackberry down on the other far end with stinging nettle all in between. And it does do its job, as I had told y'all. So looking more towards the future as people get more and more bold, you know, I just don't know how much of just a regular fence actually works anymore. So we're putting other things into place here at the Max, looking more towards the future. But this is our last. I went ahead and dropped these down in my bucket of water to get them kind of perked back up because they were riding around in the back of the Ranger with the sun just beaming on them. Last one, y'all, and I've got to go get the back weeded, and then we are going to call it a day. We are going to go on the slide with the kids. Have you had fun on the slide?
Yeah.
So much fun. And jump in the pool. We have some card games we're going to play with the kids tonight. So we're fixing to knock this out and finish up our chores outside so that we can enjoy the rest of our day. Hey, y'all, I am back down in my kitchen garden. What you been doing?
Messing with the garden, and I'm like toasted, so I've got like this hoodie on because I'm like burned. Like
So we're out working on the solar flare days.
Yeah.
Probably not very smart, huh?
No, and it's about 10,000 square foot of gardens that we just weeded.
Or you just weeded.
I'm tired.
What about this grass right here? You ready to weed some more?
Yeah, I'll help you knock it out right quick, and we'll get finished hopefully soon. It's in the shade, so.
Yeah, this part is in the shade, but it is a lot of grass. So we're visiting to get busy. Hope you guys enjoy tagging along on some of the things that happened today on the farm. Y'all, please be sure to subscribe. Happy Mother's Day.
God bless.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading.